To get more insights, we're joined now by current affairs commentator Einar Tangen. He's joining us from Beijing. First and foremost, you just heard Jack Barton's report. What do you make of this flurry of activity?
Mike, I mean, it's a very interesting. You have let us say, the two least reliable and knowns who are proposing to meet, and you have everybody else trying to figure out what they're going to meet about and how they're going to do it. I mean, this is, in the end, it's always going to be six-party talks. The only issue here is that there will only be two people in the room. I think people are trying to, a little bit ahead of themselves. The silence by North Korea is obviously an issue. But there are more things going on here. I mean, this issue of South Korea and the Trump trade tariffs, they're considering going with TPP. They're considering the Belt and Road Initiative. Mixing security and trade can have consequences, and it could have far-reaching things beyond what Trump has done. This is mostly windows dressing. Remember, nothing has changed. The U.S. will not allow North Korea to have bombs that can be delivered to the U.S., and it is doubtful that the DPRK will give them up.
And Chinese President Xi Jinping also having some encouraging words. He said he's expecting a smooth DPRK-ROK summit and DPRK-U.S. dialogue. He's optimistic about progress on all of this. What role do you think China has in helping to push this thing along? Because they were a key player in the six-party talks, as you alluded to. They've been advocating for diplomacy for some time now.
Well, yeah, China has been very, very consistent in saying that the parties have to talk, and they've been encouraging a dialogue. I think everyone was caught by surprise by the suddenness of this. But, I mean, for China, if there can be any resolution, it's wonderful. I think China is going to be consistently saying that this is something that has to happen, and they're going to be encouraging. I think that's what you see with this kind of shuttle diplomacy as South Korea tries to line things up. But it's very difficult to see how you can get actual resolution on this without all of the six parties involved, because the U.S. is far away. South Korea is obviously concerned about an armed conflict that could kill hundreds of thousands of its people. So it's still not clear what the situation is, and this ominous silence by the DPRK is worrying. So I think everyone's trying to encourage them to come to the table. It's a good first sign. You have to talk before you can settle.
And a lot of people here in Washington are kind of echoing what you're saying here. They're debating whether or not, is this a breakthrough or is this a bust, given the fact that we don't have one wild card, we have two when you look at these world leaders, Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump, both rather unpredictable.
Rather unpredictable, and I think you've heard the whispers in Washington that this was perhaps a way of changing the conversation that was going on. I mean, this has certainly deflected and dominated the news. Prior to which it was all Stormy Daniels and the Russiagate investigation and the blowback from Trump tariffs and things like this. So it's been successful, but the question is, in terms of timing and results, will this actually produce something?
That's a good question. We don't know the answer yet, but thanks so much for your observations. Appreciate it.